All right. I decided to go ahead and go live a few minutes early just to see who comes in here. Tonight's going to be a good show. Got Steve Rudzinski coming in with Aleen Isley. You may know them from Carousel, the Meowie movies, Captain Z and the Terror of the Leviathan, Super Task Force 1, to name a few. I'll be joined by Miss Boom in just a minute or two. But I went ahead and told her that I was just going to go ahead and start the show up, number 60. So just wanted to wait and get a few people to come on in. So, like I said, it's going to be a good time. I'm also going to talk about the upcoming anthology movie, Shingles, which is based on a book series, which I think I had briefly heard of them before, but I haven't read any. I actually went ahead and got Amazon Kindle free for 30 days because they actually have the Shingles book series on there. They do have 45 books have been released. I don't know if they're still coming out or not, or if the series has ended. I'll have to find that out. But I went ahead and downloaded Saved to the Library. I can go ahead and read those. Which they're kind of like an adult version of Goosebumps. It kind of reminds me of. So, like, there's what was it? One that I believe is going to be in the movie, which I'll bring up later once Steve comes in. Like about a dummy, and I think it said its name was Sloppy. So, it kind of reminds me of Slappy from R.L. Stine. So, like I said, it's just a basically. An adult version of Goosebumps. So we'll be discussing that and which books out of the series is going to be a part of the movie. We'll go ahead and talk about those, as well as his other projects. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free. We'll read them in the chat. Hope everyone's doing well. Had a good week. So yeah, I've watched a few movies myself. Just a little refresher. Everyone Must Die was one that he did. Super Task Force 1, kind of like a Power Ranger spinoff, or a goof of, or a parody of Power Rangers. Which I'm gonna have to ask him. I got a couple interesting questions of comparison that I plan on asking Steve once he joins us. So, yeah, it's going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, Boom should be here any minute. I guess she's probably just setting up. So, and then once Boom comes on, Steve and Aleen should follow in just a few minutes. So, like I said, I just wanted to go ahead and start this up, do a little introduction, talk about Shingles and what we're going to be talking about. I'm sure we'll be talking about Carousel 1 and 2 as well. I mean, got to bring up Duke the Unicorn. Can't leave him out. So if you haven't seen those yet, definitely check out the Carousels. So, all right. Get to... I think having some issues. Oh, there we go. Hello.
StreamYard keeps changing my microphone settings and it pisses me off. So I was just bitching about that real quick while you logged me in.
Yeah. All right. So I just got a message from Steve. They'll be on in just a couple minutes setting up. Yeah, I was just talking about what's going to be going on. I figured I'd just start a few minutes early just so people can, see us live. I was just talking about how Shingles is a book series, and we'll be talking about that and other projects. And of course, I'm sure we'll bring up Carousel 1 and 2. You got to mention the Dukesters. So, and I had, I'm kind of repeating myself, but I'm telling you that I saw Shingles on Kindle, the book download on Amazon. So I went ahead and I signed up for the free 30 days. I'm just going to read those books and then cancel it. Apparently, there's like 45 of the books out. And it's kind of like,
wow.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like an adult Goosebumps Is one of them that I'm sure you saw the movie poster I posted has like a dummy on there. Well, it's called like his fist up his ass or something like that, or it's like and the dummy's name is Sloppy, I believe. So kind of like Slappy. Oh,
Yeah.
we got one of the two coming on. Hello, hello.
Hi. Oh, hey.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I was just talking about the Shingles book series, how there's like about 45 of them out, and I'm, and I don't know if they're still coming out or not. Oh, here comes Steve. There we go.
I think the authors aim to try and release a new one every month, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
Like
I
they
went
like
ahead. I
rotate.
found them on Amazon. I was saying, so I signed up for the 30 days free, and I'm gonna like read a few of them, and especially the titles that are in the anthology.
The movie,
So,
Mhm.
how's it going, Steve? You hear everything all right? You good?
I hear everything fantastic. I made
Oh.
myself an alcoholic lemonade from fresh squeezed lemon, so
There you
let's have a
go.
good time.
The alcoholic lemons. You just have, plant the lemon seeds and pour some alcohol on it, and they grow up.
It's a very specific tree, yes.
It's,
I love your name on the thing. It's
Thank
Steve,
you.
too handsome. That's
Just
cute.
wanted to differentiate the Stevens. You know, we both spell our name the same. He's handsome, but too handsome. I have a problem.
he's the duo of it there, so can't go wrong with two Stevens. It's a good
Correct.
name. So, but yeah, I was saying how I was downloading the books and everything. I'm going to read some of those. We'll get into Shingles in a little bit. We'll get some more heads in here. We'll just talk a little bit about some other stuff. And I did watch. I finally watched Super Task Force.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and Captain Z. I watched both of those.
Oh, what do you think?
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed them. They were great. So
Super Task Force is a passion project that I'm still very proud of. For how little we had. And Captain Z, while it's not on the same level as like Karis Hells, I think that's a movie that is probably one of my better films that gets the least amount of attention, which is a bummer.
It definitely should be watched more. I was saying to the viewers,
Yeah.
anyone who hasn't seen it yet, definitely check that one out. So
Yeah, I watched those when we first had. I'm probably gonna mispronounce your name. I'm so sorry, but Aleen, is that right?
yeah, it's Aleen. Yep, you're right.
Okay. But when we first had her on, I watched those, and we absolutely enjoyed those movies, especially Super Task Force 1. We really liked that one.
Thank you.
I got a couple
Yeah.
questions about that for you. Obviously, it's a Power Ranger inspired, of course. But a question for your character's name was Jason, and Jason David Frank played the Green Ranger. Is that how you got the idea for your character name?
My idea was Jason, as in the Red Ranger, played by Austin St. John, but then
Okay.
using the last name of Oliver from Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger from Mighty
There
Morphin,
we
to
go.
kind of combine the Sixth Ranger, but also the Leader Ranger as like one. Just in terms of the name, it wasn't inspired character-wise at all. And like most of the inspiration in terms of tone was from Super Sentai way more than Power Rangers. But obviously, Power Rangers was the first experience of the genre, so I had to give my like hats off somewhere. And I did that before I cast fucking David Fielding, to be in the movie. Otherwise, I would have needed to use that name because that would have been my reference to Power Rangers, was Zordon himself.
Right. Yeah.
But hey. And hey, if anyone here is a fan of Super Task Force, there will probably never be a sequel just because it took forever to make a profit. However, he did finally come back in a Meowie Dark Timeline, which is exclusively on SteveBuster.com right now. In episode 4, Jason Oliver came back to try to fix his mistake because the gal is the villain of Meowie 4.
Nice.
I watched a couple Meowie movies this week for the first time. I've never watched them before, and they were just so adorable.
Did you do Christmas and Halloween?
I watched 2 of the Christmas ones.
Oh, okay. So you
The
watched
beginning and the
the
end.
first one, the last one.
Yeah,
So now
I
you gotta
did
do
watch
Halloween.
Halloween, but I didn't get time to get to it. But I watched Christmas, both
That is
Christmas ones. Are those animals your guys's or?
Almost all of them, but not every single one.
Most. I highly recommend St. Patrick's Day because that's my favorite in the series.
Well, did you
Yeah, it
watch them
wasn't
on
on
Tubi?
Tubi, but it did.
Did you watch Christmas Vacation on Tubi, Boomstick?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
now
Christmas-
you saw St. Patrick's Day because on Tubi.
Oh,
yeah.
right. They're combined on that one.
Yeah.
I was wondering why there was a leprechaun in there, but I was like,
Okay.
hey, I'm
So then,
for
yeah.
it.
Well, so I made Meowie Christmas and then I made Meowie Halloween, and at the time I was like, okay, I'm done. But Halloween kept making so much money that I was like, I can't say no to more money. So I kept on talking about Meow St. Patrick's Day. I was making Meow St. Patrick's Day. Oh, I can't believe my first trilogy is going to be Cats. Ha 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 ha. I was filming 3 and 4 at the same time. And I didn't tell anyone until 3 came out and the post-credit scene was, guess what, motherfuckers? Later this year, 4's coming out. But 3 was only like 30-some minutes long, and then 4 was like 45 minutes long. Tubi only takes features. So I was like, well, I nicknamed that version the Meowie Endgame.
Yeah, I saw that.
But the intended viewing is like on the Blu-ray, where 3 is its own thing and 4 is its own thing. But you still got the whole shebang, you know.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, I was wondering why there was a leprechaun on Christmas, but I was like, hey, I don't care. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody can celebrate Christmas, even the leprechauns.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't be left out. It's just, you know.
I got a review on Letterboxd for Merry Christmas Vacation. And obviously, there's someone that watched it on Tubi, but the review was just like, this is the second worst Christmas movie I've ever seen. Christmas is barely in this. I'm like, what's the worst?
If you're the second.
And, you know, it was fine. You know, he wanted a Christmas movie, and Christmas Vacation isn't really a Christmas movie. We named it that to make fun of The Dog Who Saved Christmas Vacation, because that was a double dip into Christmas instead of making a new holiday in that series. We were just making fun of that.
Right.
Well, they called you on it.
Hey, he actually thought Meowie Christmas was okay, so clearly that's what he wanted. He wanted very explicitly Christmas stuff. He didn't get that in the final film, and that's okay. That's valid.
Fair.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for another Super Task Force, though. That was hilarious, man.
Again, like, if you want to hop onto Steve Buster for 1 month, you can at least get one more taste.
Yeah,
but that's probably it.
Yeah, we'll put that in the link in a little bit, or in the chat. I guess.
No worries, yeah.
That, so. But, yeah, I keep meaning to sign up for that, so I got to do that. I mean, it's a great deal too, and all that exclusive stuff on there that you have. So, I shall get it. I swear. It's on my to-do list. I'll sign up right after tonight when I get off.
Perfect.
What was that site called again, so I can look it up?
SteveBuster.com. It's basically my digital subscription. It's not a streaming service. It's hosted on OnlyFans, and it's like direct YouTube links to all stuff unlisted. So you can keep it permanently when you unsubscribe, and I don't mind. Just please don't share it, everyone at home. That's all. But it's all on movies.
We won't Netflix it, all right? We won't Netflix it.
And then a bunch of like exclusives that I shot just for, like, Meowie Dark Timeline is just for Steve Buster. We filmed Lost in Cleveland, which is just for Steve Buster, and a few things like that, like a 2-hour retrospective for Bill Murphy, my co-writer, and I just deep dove into how we wrote all the Meowie movies and like why we're insane. Just stuff like that, you know, things that I think my fans would be interested in. So far, people are happy enough that it's stayed consistent. It's not a huge hit, but I'm glad I'm doing it.
Nice. Yeah, I found it and I posted it in the chat so people can click on it.
Thank you.
I saw on your Internet Movie Data page, there's a movie called Dino Gore. Is that out yet, or is that on your page? Or
that I just acted in that, and it was like a cameo. That was made by Seb. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try. But look up Dino Gore. You can buy it from Dustin Hubbard. Seb is the one who made it, and it's a fun movie. But I'm only a cameo in it because I wanted to be in one of like their movies. So I'm like a super crazy guy.
You act crazy? Nah.
Yeah.
Never.
Not at all.
I know you guys co-write, excuse me if I could talk, a lot of movies. How do you go along with the creative process? Do you kind of like take from each other, or?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of back and forth. I'll admit Steve does a lot of the actual screenwriting. I like spitball ideas at him, and out of every 8 or 9 I give him, he picks like 2. So, but
still
like,
pretty good
but
ratio.
I have very like niche specialties. Like, for example, in the Carousel movie, we needed somebody to hit on somebody with a bunch of like pizza puns. So that was my job. I made all the pizza puns. Or sometimes I'll
Those
teach
were
him.
great too,
This
by
is
the
how you
way.
play Never Have I Ever. Right. Thank you. So like, yeah, I have like little niche projects I get into in each script, but usually it's just me throwing ideas at him for what the characters are doing or jokes, and then he sees if we can fit them in.
As being a pizza worker for 10 years, not anymore, but I worked at pizza. I highly enjoyed that character in his
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you guys usually play in all your, probably at least most of your movies together? Do you write like your own character, or does the other person write the other character?
I mean, it's mostly, I'll be honest, it's mostly me in the driving seat of writing. So it's me writing almost all the characters. You know, like Carousel, Aleen will admit, even though she's the creator, like Carousel would not exist without her. She came up with the idea, she came up with the title, she came up with the general motivations. 75% of the script was me anyway. So,
Yes.
And it's rarely a case of me writing for someone in mind. Like, I wasn't supposed to play Joe the fucking pizza guy. I got bullied into that. I didn't want to do that. So I just wrote a character that made me laugh a lot. And then everyone was like, you have to be this character. You know, when I wrote Ilsa, I wrote an evil Nazi villain. That was, you know,
At least you didn't get bullied into playing that. But okay.
But then I got, you know, inspiration from like Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, you know, like just Nazi characters from like Rocketeer and stuff, like just took all pieces of that. And then Aleen voiced that she wanted to audition for it. And she auditioned against other actresses. So the cinematographer and I picked who Ilsa was, since Aleen couldn't pick who Ilsa was. And then for other stuff, it just kind of depends. You know, like when I wrote Slasher Hunter, I wrote the Freddy parody with me in mind, because I always do a Freddy impersonation. It's what I've been doing for years. It's fun. So I knew I was going to play that. Whereas like Pete and Everyone Must Die wasn't written for me. But then when we were getting down to the wire, when it came to like, oh, I only had like $3,500 to make this whole movie, the co-writer and I at the time were like, oh, well, if you play this character and I play this character, we save $500. You know, we were paying people with like a low budget, but if we act, we don't have to pay ourselves. The Meowie movies, I wrote that for me as Wally. Like I knew going into it, because those were supposed to be as cheap as possible. So of course I'm going to be the lead, and I've always kind of wanted to play Ernest, and Wally Griswold is my Ernest P. Worrell. So
Nice.
Yeah, the little mice pancake was a nice touch there. That was funny. Or rat. I'm sorry, not mouse.
Pancakes on Parade, and yes, it is a rat.
So also you did Red Christmas, or speaking of holiday ones, that was a good one. What was the inspiration for that, to write a female killer?
I just think female villains are interesting. You know, I think part of that is growing up on you know, Tokusatsu, you know, Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Hexadecimal reboot, just that Black Arachnia. I just like lady villains. I think it's cool. It's interesting. So many horror villains are just men, good dudes. So I want to be different. At the time, I think Aleen and I, we tried to raise money to do Carousel the first time, and it failed. So I was getting near the end of the year, and I was like, I still need something new to sell at conventions. What's really cheap to make? Oh, a found footage movie. Let's do that. And then it just kind of turned into a found footage Christmas movie, only because I was like, oh, Red Christmas. That's a good name for a horror film. I bet that exists, because there's a White Christmas already. There's a Black Christmas already. Wait, there's not a Red Christmas? Well, I got to be the first guy to make this, and I was. So when that fucking motherfucker in Australia made a movie called Red Christmas, now it's called D. Snyder's Red Christmas forever. It can't just be Red Christmas, because I came first.
Yep. Yep, I remember that.
But that was just like, we shot that at a weekend. It cost me like $500 to pay everyone and feed everyone and pay for the effects. And since it was like the actress shooting most of the movie herself in order, I had to barely edit it. It was like the easiest thing ever made. I hate found footage movies though, so I don't really want to do it again, but god damn, was it easy.
Now we need a green Christmas. We got all the other colors.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, it'd be a title. It wouldn't really sound like a horror type thing. You wouldn't really expect it. Well, red you would associate with evil, whatever, but green.
Can the leprechaun come back for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's a green Christmas.
Officer O'Grady or Colin O'Grady? Yes.
Yes.
That's why it's a green Christmas. Perfect.
Yes,
There we
the
go.
leprechaun could be the bad person.
Exactly.
Maybe he's just trying to have a good Christmas and bad things keep happening
about-
to him.
It's
Karma
a
from
battle
all the
between the elves
curses.
and the leprechaun. The elves and leprechaun battling. There we go.
Yeah.
We always
Where are
come
we
up
gonna
with
hide all those little people though? Come on.
Just stand in front of a green screen, make it look small. That's all. Just
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
together. That's all you need.
Oh, we could Lord Farquaad it. Good, got it. Everybody on their knees with some little shoes.
Welcome to. No, that's all. It's
That's amazing.
for Isley, for in Captain Z, how was it playing the demon? Or
Oh, the
possessed?
blast. Yeah, like I love being a villain. I love being a monster. So it was fun to wear a prosthetic. It was fun to be the only smart one in a crowd of idiot accomplices.
Yeah.
Which happens frequently when I'm a villain. I really
It was
like
that way in Meowie too.
Yeah, same thing.
You're the only smart villain in it. Yeah.
Generally speaking, yes, the female villains are the smartest, right? But no, it was a really good time. We ended up crashing a student's senior photos during filming in full demon regalia. I got to do stunts. It was really fun. I don't know. It was a blast. I would not trade it for the world. It was my first like monster role, and I loved it, and I want to do more.
Well, we hope to see you do more. So yeah, we got to get another movie going with you're the villain monster thing, whatever.
I'm going to be covered in teeth, like head to toe teeth,
Oh yeah, like the Channel Zero thing.
like the eyeball monster from Power Rangers, but teeth.
Gotcha.
A teeth monster. There we go.
Yeah, 'cause the only one I know of is there was some sort of creature like that on Channel Zero. I think it was called Channel Zero. It's just nothing but teeth.
Yeah.
I like it. I'll have to check that out.
There were different like stories or whatever. Channel Zero.
Yeah, I think each season was like a different story,
like
or
a different
something like
dimension. Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting show to check out there.
Teeth monster. Oh, yes, that is beautiful. I had to look up teeth monster, and there it was.
Oh wow, it popped right up on there.
Oh yeah.
So, anything in the works yet for Carousel 3 or not yet? Still.
I mean, we have the basic story idea. I mean, we had a lot of the basic story idea when we were filming Carousel 1. And so when we were wrapping up Carousel 2, like we actually shot a couple of scenes for Carousel 3 if we got to make Carousel 3. But, we weren't planning on making it this year no matter what.
Right.
And then I immediately got hired to make Shingles, like less than 6 months after releasing Carousel 2. Didn't even get to take to any conventions yet. Didn't really have any screenings. I was already in pre-production on Shingles. I didn't get to. I haven't enjoyed the release of Carousel 2 yet. But if we're able to kind of come together and write a script that we really believe in, then we'll launch a Kickstarter. We'll basically do the same thing for Carousel 2. Like, hey, here will be the conclusion to Duke's story arc, at least in terms of this specific arc of the Who Am I arc is what I'm calling it. We need this amount of money. If we get it, we'll make it. Bada boom, no problem. And we have the basic plot idea. I have a lot of ideas. This is going to be one that I super am excited to make. It is going to be my favorite carousel, and I think it'll be everyone else's least favorite carousel.
I think it's going to be great. I don't know about you. We already have the villain.
Villains, arguably.
Yes.
Nice.
But
is it giant teeth?
No.
I wish it was a bag of teeth.
Well, we definitely have some ideas that we can take it to a lot of cool places possibly. But I'm going to worry about finishing Shingles first and getting Shingles released. And then Aleen and I will come together, work on an outline, and maybe try to write a script. And then if we like it, we'll try to make it. Maybe, at the earliest, we'll shoot it next year.
Nice. Hope so. Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're just wrapping up Shingles. How did you get involved with that project? They reach out to you or you heard about it?
Oh, yeah. They absolutely reach out to me. Basically, they do like a shitty movie Saturday. I don't know what it's actually called, but that's what I'm calling it. Where they basically MST3K some crappy movie. Two of their fans both were like pushing, you guys got to watch Carousel. You guys got to watch Carousel. You guys got to watch Carousel. It was probably the worst episode of the shitty movie Saturday ever because they were just silent the whole time enjoying the film. Like they couldn't make fun of it. They were loving it. They loved the writing. They loved how like all the jokes actually built up. Like there's a setup and a punchline. It wasn't just random stuff. They loved the story. They loved the everything. So they had me on their podcast, and as we were talking, then they became impressed with how much it cost, how long it took to shoot, the fact that we did all this by ourselves. And apparently they've been wanting to make a Shingles movie for a long time. And they kind of all unanimously went, maybe this is our guy. Maybe this is our opportunity. So they, after like a few weeks after that, they reached back out to me and said, hey, look, we want to make a Shingles movie. We've turned 5 of the books, because there's 5 authors. They turned 5 of the books into one screenplay. And they were like, how much will this cost? Here's the screenplay. I read the screenplay and I was like, okay, it's going to be really expensive, because there's a lot of characters. And originally the middle story was bigger than anything else. Like the middle story would have cost more than Carousel 1. The middle story got changed. But like I went back with this budget. I explained how much I needed to get paid. You know, Scott Lewis needed to get paid. Bringing Aleen on as like a line producer, how much she gets paid, how much all the actors would cost, an estimate of the food, hotels, effects, locations, everything. And I expected this is way too much money. We can't afford this. Instead, they're just like, no, yeah, this is more affordable than we were expecting. We can do this. I was like, okay. So we went back and forth on like what the middle story needed to be. They picked another book for the middle story, which like cut $15,000 out of the budget. And they gave it to me, and I basically said, okay, I need to change some stuff to make this more filmable. So I didn't write the script, but I did edit the script a bit. You know, updated some lines, updated some characters, added a few jokes, but not too much. It's mostly their script, like 90% their script. I just streamlined it because the first script was like over 220 pages.
So what?
Now it's like 115 or something like that. But I went back again, and they were all, yep, we're doing this. They did a Kickstarter with their fans, and they have a fan base. They actually have a fan base. They have enough fans that they have their own convention every year. Oh. And their fans raised almost all the money, and then the authors pulled together the rest of the money themselves. And they hired me as producer and director. They really listened to me. Like, they really trusted me. They said, you know this world. We don't. So I ran everything past them, but for the most part, I was in charge creatively, financially, like the whole shebang. This is a Steve Rudzinski movie, except the script is theirs.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't sure how much of the script or, the editing or whatever he did. I was going to say, because each story in the anthology of the movie, I know is going to be based on one book itself. How much of a challenge is it to what to cut out and what to keep in to have the story still make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. And that was mostly, like they took 5 books and turned it into one screenplay. And like we read the books after the fact, and they cut a lot out. Like I knew, like, put your hand in my ass. You meet the mom, the dad, the sister. He goes to like multiple places to perform. And in the movie, you only meet you only meet dad and him with the puppet, and that's it. You don't meet the rest of the family. He has 2 performances, but the core of the story is still there. The themes are still there, and the idea is still there. Or like Aleen, you read Just Say No, and I actually didn't read that one before we got it. So what were the differences with that one?
I know in Just Say No, in the movie, it's just Dusty the Gnome and Buick, and a few kills and things along the way. But in the book, like, Dusty was lonely and wanted a companion, so the woman who brought him to life brings him a wife to life, and he hates her, and then he ends up like killing the wife off, and all these things that happen with this other character that doesn't even exist in the movie treatment for the story. Still the same idea, still the same raunchy comedy stuff, but definitely very different at the end.
Interesting.
I brought it up on the website here, Shingles, the movie, where like tells which ones there are. If it's all right, I'll just read like the little sentence about each one. And I know we can't say too much about it. We don't want to know too much, but like any experience of filming that.
They haven't told me I can't say anything, so I'll spoil the shit out of everything. I don't care.
No NDAs.
Oh, okay. Mostly just behind the scenes questions, Sure. So. Let me see here. Laughs, gore, entirely inappropriate situations. We want to capture the Shingles magic, and it's all its sticky, uncomfortable glory. Fisting pumpkins. Woo, not pumpkins. That's something new there. Puppets. Fisting puppets, not pumpkins. Now, if I could read, cocaine murder gnomes and zombie dildo fights are all on the table. So the 5 stories that it's going to be: the legend of Jimmy Headshot. A big talking gamer tries to live up to his own hype when zombies invade. So I'm assuming an online gamer likes to play zombie games and kind of apocalypse thing going on.
Yeah, he's an asshole that fucked your mom, and he's a piece of shit. But when zombies attack, he becomes super excited that he gets to kill things legally, basically.
Pretty much all of what we would like to in the zombie apocalypse.
The first time I've ever done anything zombie based. You know, most filmmakers in Pittsburgh, that's what they start with, like a zombie short at least or something. It's like everyone's dream. Never cared about doing zombie stuff because everyone else does zombie stuff. This is me doing zombie stuff for the first time. So we did a lot of fun stuff with it. We went Return of the Living Dead in terms of style for the zombies.
Old.
Well, and also like more fantastical, you know, like it's not like
True.
based on reality. It's not like, oh, these just happen. It's an infection. Like, no, like from the grave, rotted zombies and stuff. So
okay. Next one, Put Your Hand in My Ass, which we already talked a little bit about that, but I'll just say follow the adventures of Sloppy. That's why I say it reminded me of Goosebumps Slappy, so Sloppy. The sexual deviant puppet as he seeks fame at any cost.
yes.
So a horny puppet in this one, I guess?
He's not horny. No, he's just he's a manipulator.
Okay.
You know, he also wants to be popular and famous, and he meets this kid, this guy. So in the original screenplay, all the lead characters were like 12, and I was like, first of all, I'm never working with kids again at extensively Here's Hell 1 because that was a fucking nightmare. I'll use kids for a scene or something, no problem, but not as leads for an entire film because that's too difficult between insurance, between hours, just the whole shebang. And 2, there's a lot of like sexual language and sexual situations in the script, and I'm okay with that. Like, I like dark humor, I like over the top humor. I'm not a prude, but I don't want to do that with literal children. So I basically talked them into like, can we at least up the ages to like 16 so that way they're still kids, but I can actually hire adults.
Right.
So they were okay with that.
That's completely understandable. I would be right there with you.
Yeah.
On that.
So we got Sloppy meeting this kid and is like finding his in and is able to kind of manipulate this kid and pretend to be his friend and see where that takes them and how it goes wrong for Will.
Then we got Just Say No, meet Dusty, the cocaine shitting gnome. Can his trailer park murder spree be brought to an end? I guess it meant brought to an end. I guess that's a typo there. But from the poster, I was almost thinking Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, but it shits cocaine. That's interesting.
Yes, Dusty. He was so there was a bunch of gnomes filled with cocaine that were being used to smuggle cocaine. Cops showed up, shot the drug dealers, were transporting the gnomes, but one fell off the truck. And Madame Wanda, who may be a being of magic or maybe technology, we don't know, she basically picks up Dusty and brings him to life. Because she wants, and as he's brought to life, the cocaine in his system becomes part of his body, so he shits cocaine. And she has sex with him, of course, but eventually Dusty gets away from her and is found by Buick, this young, naive, sweet girl who has a lot of money problems. She's poor, she lives in a trailer park, he's a terrible father, and they form a business relationship where he makes the drugs and she sells the drugs. But he has a secret in the sense that the only way he's able to shit the cocaine is if he eats. And the only thing he can eat is human flesh.
Ooh, interesting. Is this the gnome?
Yes.
This is one of 6 or 7 Dusties that were made for the film. So you get a first look at him. Nice. He's on the poster too, but yeah. He's a fun screen partner to work with.
Then we got Slaughter at Giggle Time Mountain.
That was the A script. Yeah.
The A script. That was the script that would have been extremely expensive and we couldn't do. So it's no longer Slaughter at Giggle Time Mountain, which was a great story. We could make Slaughter at Giggle Time Mountain a feature all on its own. with like how many characters and how many kills and like the scope of it. It was in an amusement park. There was like a supernatural slasher that came back to life at the exact same time. 3 human slashers were coming to this park to kill people. So it's like a clash between 2 villains with all these innocent people in the middle. Love the script, honestly. Love the book, love the story. Couldn't afford it. So that has been replaced with Aliens Wrecked Our Kegger.
Okay, so what's that one about then?
Aliens Wrecked Our Kegger is pretty much what it sounds like. Couple college guys are, throwing a kegger, they're throwing a party. It's very important to Clyde. Every single year, Omicron Phi has the biggest party of the year. 2 aliens show up and kidnap Clyde's brother. Clyde doesn't even know they're aliens, but he's chasing them down, gets teleported up to the ship. Once they all realize they're aliens, the aliens are like, well, we can't let you go because you're going to tell the government. We can't trust you. So they agree to a competition of Fire Olympics because it turns out these aliens are partiers. They go from planet to planet to party as hard as they can. So it's these humans at the school trying to win their freedom by seeing who can drink alcohol the best.
Also, kind of like the Amish when they're set free, they're like aliens set free.
Oh, Rumstringer.
Rumstringer, yeah. There we go. Except it's an alien Rumstringer, whatever.
Yes.
And then Zombies Ate My Homework is one of them, right?
Yes.
Okay. The action-packed finale that pits teenage jerks against zombies with a little help from the Hello Titty sex shop emporium.
Yeah, so an interesting thing is that, so I forget the last names because I've been referring to them for their first names this entire time working on the film. So The Legend of Jimmy Headshot is a book about zombies written by Rick. Zombies Ate My Homework is a book about zombies written by John. They aren't related. They have nothing to do with each other. But for the sake of the movie and the screenplay to streamline it, Jimmy Headshot is the lead of both of those stories.
Okay.
So it's Aliens Ate My Homework. Why the fuck do I keep saying that?
Well, because that was the book, the aliens. Yeah.
Zombies Ate My Homework is very different in that sense. Instead of being about the characters from the book, it's about Jimmy again, except in this new situation, in this new place. That being said, we took elements from that a little bit more, like the Hello Kitty sex shop is where the wraparound takes place. These kids are around a fire telling each other these stories of what happened to them. So Hello Kitty's in the entire movie since we couldn't do the book as direct as like the other stories.
Right.
So we try to, that was the challenge of like, as a creator, is like, what's the balance here? How much of this, what are the fans going to fucking think of this? Between the filter of the author's script, then my filter, then the filter of the actors. Like, what distilled version of the stories is this going to be? I hope it's good enough that people like it.
I think it was, I forget if it was last week or the week before, someone was mentioned the actual dildo from that episode. I guess it's sold off. I'm assuming it was used as a weapon. I forget. What was that joke we had? Boom. Remember they were saying there was that funny joke of calling it something dildo. What? I can't remember.
I honestly do not remember what you're talking about.
But no, I guess so. That's it kind of remind me of what's that movie where they use the dildo as a weapon?
Deathgasm?
Thank you. There we go. So a little deathgasm going on in that, huh?
Well, there's a lot of dildos used as weapons. The zombies show up and the only place nearby, anywhere nearby, is the sex shop. So he turns the sex shop into a weapon. He has a bandolier of dicks. He makes nunchucks, which is 2 dildos on a chain. Aleen made that prop. It was very because it was from the book and it was from the script, and someone bought them via like the crowdfunding. So like, there's no way around having this made. So thank you, Aleen, for figuring out how to fucking do that.
Yep. Yeah, they're pretty sturdy too, surprisingly, and getting hit by a dildo nunchuck hurts.
Well, who knows? Someone might enjoy that. I don't know.
Somewhere out there's something for everybody, right?
Yeah, everything's out there. Some stuff I don't even want to know.
My question is: this sex shop, does this like place like actually exists by that title? No, okay. I was like, that's a pretty amazing title.
Hello, Titty.
A few of the locations that the authors use in the series reoccur in several books, and I think Hello Kitty is an established store in a few stories, from what I understand. So they wanted to make sure it was like in the film. So that's pretty cool that they have like in-universe brands, stores, products. I think restaurants in universe that like are in similar stories. So we're sort of world building the whole Shingles world here.
Nice. Yeah, I was amazed. I was like, that's an amazing title for Six Places. I was wondering if it was actually real or not.
Like, I have to go by that store, take a picture.
Yeah, we have one here in town, but it's just called Shockwave. It's like not that big of a deal.
The sex shop near us is like just called sex shop. Like it's
just called, yeah, it's just like adult store or something.
Yeah, adult store. Adult store or toy box. That's the only titles. There's no original names for them.
Lion's Den's pretty cool because Lion's Den.
Store of sex.
Oh, not near here then, but yeah. Out of all of those episodes there, which one was the most challenging for you? Was it the zombie one, since you said that was your first time doing zombies?
I'll answer first, Aleen. For me, it was Aliens Rector Kegger because it had the most named characters. Because there was a bunch of aliens, there were a bunch of other like classmates. They were called the Tonys. Like one of the gags is that everyone at this frat house is called Tony, except they have a different like adjective, like hot Tony or tall Tony or smooth Tony.
Too handsome Tony. Yeah, I get it.
And then I also acted in that one. Just because I really like the character of Clyde. You know, he's a neurotic, super anxious person, and that's kind of the character I play. So it's been a while since I played a lead in like a bigger production. So I was like, okay, I'll do this because I only have to act for 3 days out of the 14. It's not like I'm a lead the whole time, which I hate. But being a lead for 3 days, I can handle that. But it still added a lot of stress. And it was also a shoot where we had like 3 different locations, which isn't the only time we had that on the shoot, but it's just like stacked on top of each other. We did have a second unit for that shoot, which both made things easier, but also brought on its own challenges. And it was a lot. So Aliens Rector Kegger for me was definitely the most stressful part of the film. What about you, Aleen?
If we're going just based on like which segment was the most difficult or stressful, I mean, I had a great time pretty much the whole time, but it could be the first zombie segment only because that was the hottest day. I know we were out in the sun and it was like, I don't know, 80 some degrees and we're in zombie suits. So that was a little tricky. But Just Say Gnome was probably the hardest to piece together because it was raining on and off. Rainstorming. We were in these 2 tiny trailers, like camper trailers that were real tight. So it's hard to get a lot of crew in there. A lot of restrictions on like where we could go on the campgrounds and how fast we could drive and stuff like that. So that's probably the most difficult because it also had several locations. But honestly, like nothing was so terrible, you know?
Yes, I just remembered the dildo thing because instead of saying nunchucks, I said nunchucks. Or nunchucks. I said nunchucks. I called it that. So they were all laughing at me because I called them nunchucks.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, use them enough on somebody, they might end up numb in the end. I don't know. In the end.
They're covered with that numbing lubricant.
Yeah, there you go.
Great.
Put the hot one on there so when you slap it, it starts like burning.
Just don't mistake it for toothpaste. Be like Jar Jar Binks when he's like, "Don't get your tongue there; it'll be numb for hours." Let's go. Oh, that's funny. All right. So for the you said the most challenging one. What was your favorite special effect in the stories?
My favorite special effect, I mean, it was barely, compared to all the like amazing custom stuff that Cody made, this doesn't compare for my favorite because it made me laugh the most was when Cody actually brought back a puppet from Carousel 2 and we shoved a dildo in each in the mouth and he just kept on moving it around and I was crying laughing. There's probably better options for actual custom effects that he did because he did a lot of great stuff with like the zombies and a lot of great kills. But no, that one's my favorite. That one's my favorite.
I'm trying to think. There's a lot of good stuff. I think there's like a really simple like torn arm, like where somebody's arm comes off gag that I just thought looked pretty cool, and it was really fun to shoot. A lot of the zombie stuff, probably the zombie puppets that we have in the zombie suits that were made for this movie are really cool. So I think I look forward most to people like seeing those and seeing them move and animate. It's pretty neat.
So, what'd you use for the cocaine effect for the gnome shitting cocaine?
Well, first of all, like powdered sugar has the exact same consistency as real cocaine. So most of the time, whenever you see cocaine in a movie, they're using powdered sugar. The process of doing it was mostly Aleen, just blowing through a hose.
Yeah, we loaded. Cody had made a version of Dusty here that has his pants pulled down, ready to go, and it just has a feed line of like aquarium tubing connected to a syringe for air, and then you load it with powdered sugar and just like squirt that baby out. And it was funny because as the powdered sugar would come out, it would make like little clouds. So it was like a cocaine cloud would form around him. But it was interesting. It was really fun to see it on know how we did it and then look at it on our shot and like see it in action and see how it's going to be portrayed once we cut everything together. It's hilarious.
I can just imagine just shooting out sugar cane. But yeah, that's let's see. Someone Cinderwild.
Great question.
Just the name, I'm laughing at Cinderwild. Who would win a 1v1 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighters on Sega Genesis, Steve or Steven?
Well, I am terrible at that game. I couldn't even beat the first CPU level. However, I don't know how much experience Steven has.
I'll kick your ass as Leonardo.
Okay. So in that sense, Steven may take this match.
So, yep, I'll take that one.
It's an interesting off-the-wall question there.
I like off the wall.
Yeah, it definitely make interesting.
Well, since you're not good at that video game, what other video games, any of them that you might be a champion of?
I don't know. It depends. Like I sometimes am very good at Tekken. That was always kind of my fighting game growing up.
I love playing as Eddie.
I'm big on using Lee, Hayachi's adopted son. That's who I use the most. Also known as Violet. I go back and forth on the Mortal Kombat franchise games. Like I'm not very good at Mortal Kombat 10 or 11, but I'm very good at Injustice 1 and 2. I'm very good at Mortal Kombat 1, but not very good at Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. And Street Fighter, if I'm Ken, I'll do a great job. If I'm anyone else, I have no idea what buttons are.
Same. I have, I think all the ones with horror characters. I know I have 11. I don't think did that one have horror characters? I don't remember, but I have 11.
And the Terminator, which honestly made me buy 11 because I wanted RoboCop in a fighting game.
Yeah. But there's one that has Jason. I think that's either 9 or 10. 10.
Freddy was at 9.
And I was streaming it one time, and all I basically do is just slap buttons. I don't know what does what. And somebody made a comment. I've never seen Jason jump around so much. I was like, well, when I'm playing, that's what he does.
Jason does not. I'm trying to figure out
Jason dropped through the fucking trees in front of dudes. Jason jumps. We just don't see it.
Yeah, he's just jumping all over the place. I just mash buttons. I don't know. I can't remember like the combos and whatnot.
What was the blood code? It was like up, down, left, right, A, uppercut. Whenever to get the blood code or something, or A, B, A, B, A, C. There were some different fatalities.
Yeah.
That was fun. That's pretty much what I would do. Like whenever it says finish him, like when I first learned about the fatalities, like I would just hit the bag button, and eventually they might rip off their head or rip out their heart or something. I'm like, that's how you do that. Okay.
Mortal Kombat 1 Scorpion, block up from sweep distance, baby. I'll remember that forever.
I never did get that guy, and when they were fighting in the woods, and all of a sudden that guy, I guess it was like probably one of the programmers or something, he come across and he go, Toasty! To the uppercut. I have Cheetah Will Views here. He said hello to both of you.
Hey, hello, Cheetah.
You know him.
Fighting game wise, for me, I think my favorite series is Soul Calibur. I am shit at most other series. I'll pick one character in every game, and I will learn how to play just that character. Like Tekken's Kasumi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then that's kind of it. But I really love Balloon Fight on the NES. I will knock anybody out in Balloon Fight. It's like one of the original Versus games outside of like Pong. And you don't have to do anything. You just have to float around and pop each other's balloons. It's great.
That sounds amazing.
It's really fun.
I never got big into gaming until probably the last couple years. We got a PlayStation 4, so I got hooked into GTA and Red Dead Redemption. Those are my main games. But like all my friends got PS5s, I'm still a 4, so now I don't have people to play with.
Queen fan wants to know, Steve, when will you be playing Spider-Man again?
When it comes to like fan films, probably never. I only made a few of those, just because I know that it got more looks on my YouTube page because nobody cares about original films. They care about characters they already know. When it comes to my Marvel gigs, I honestly don't know. The pandemic slowed things down in a big way. I don't know how much of it is that clients can't afford it. I don't know how much of it is Marvel is overcharging, and I don't know how much of it is just the clients know that people were stuck in their house for basically a year and a half, 2 years, and they don't need to pay thousands of dollars to get Marvel characters to show up to get people to come to their events. But regardless, I've only done like 2 Spider-Man gigs and 1 Make-A-Wish since January 2020. So I don't know what the next one is. I honestly don't. Usually at this point, I'd know if I had something else in August. I don't have anything else in August. I don't know if something's going to come up this fall or the winter. I don't know. But, anyone that pays me, I'll put on that spandex. So keep that in mind, Queen.
Queen also said, Aleen, I saw the live stream before this one and saw that you have a Jimmy Jack skeleton animatronic. I have that one as well.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, he's one of 3 large animatronic Halloween props I have now. I have to stop. I have nowhere to put them. But we started with Jack Skellington. I now have Sam from Trick or Treat and a 7-foot tall man-eating Venus flytrap plant that talks to me. I had such a time sourcing that one. I saw that they released a Sally. I'm waiting for them to do something crazy, like a monstrous Oogie Boogie to go with everything. But there's just nowhere to put him. He usually just has to hide back in the corner. So,
more importantly, though, I have a 6-foot animatronic Santa Claus.
Yes, I did help you find a Santa.
And was literally my dream come true. I'm a big Christmas fan, as everyone knows. I'm a big fan of like classic Santa Claus. Like there's just something special and nostalgic and about the theme and just the idea of what Santa Claus personifies and stuff. And so when I saw him, like his head moves, his body moves, his mouth moves, he sings, he talks. When I saw him, I was like, that's a $600 animatronic here at Home Depot. And that's a fair price for like what he does and how good he looks. Like his costume's good, his face looks good, everything looks good. And then we got closer, the price was only $300, and I was like, "Oh fuck, is this $300 more than that?" So I have to, and it's my greatest treasure.
It sounds amazing.
It stands right here whenever it's November 1st. As she's taking down her Halloween decorations slowly, Santa's like, ho 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 ho.
Yeah, he cannot wait, man. November 1st, like midnight on Halloween, he's like tearing stuff down. I get to start Halloween at like the end of August, so it's fair.
Oh, Queen says, Aleen, I have 10 animatronics and Home, it says Hope, but I think they mean Home.
Oh, Home Depot,
Home
yeah.
Depot will be selling an Oogie Boogie animatronic this year. Nice.
I'll look it up. I know there's a weird Black Friday style sale they have in July every year, and if you don't buy the new stuff, then you'll never get it. So I'll take a look.
Nice. I did not know about that, but I also can't afford animatronics. So.
Yeah.
I post that meme of that kid that's like holding a fart or whatever it is, like with all of his veins bulging, and I just want to be like every single time you go into Home Depot waiting for Christmas stuff to be sold. Like I was trying to pass. Come on.
Yeah, thanks for the hot tip, Queen. I'll check it out.
Those sound amazing.
I want a couple. Just put them out and just psych people out with them. What's the other ones? Like the screens or whatever that you can show through the wall and have like different movies scenes and stuff.
I have that. We freaked out our neighbors across the street. We have a 2-story house, and I hurt my leg, so it's hard for me to get up downstairs. So we pretty much moved our bedroom down to the living room, so I don't have to keep going up and down the stairs. So our bedroom upstairs, we put just a white sheet. It was just like a tablecloth we got from the Dollar Tree. So it was like $1, and we got a projector, the one that you buy that has the special like Halloween stuff on it, and we had zombies like clawing at the window, and our teenage neighbor across the street said she came home one night and saw it and scared the crap out of her.
Good.
Yeah, we had tons of people stopping and like taking pictures with our stuff and standing and watch. It was cool. This first time we really had it going was this past Halloween, so it was a hit.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
So Steve, since you got that 6-foot animatronic there, you plan on doing like any Christmas movies with it, or any ideas that you might?
I'm not an animatronic enough. Like I don't own the license to that voice. I don't want to like risk a legal situation.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I have people that I can actually dress as Santa Claus. I don't need to use the animatronic.
No, that's right. And think of that. Yeah, the voice.
I may spend $200 to make a garbage direct to streaming movie this year if no one beats me to it. If it doesn't happen, that's fate telling me that I need to do it, and that is how did I call it? An Amityville Christmas.
Oh yeah,
nice.
We made Amityville Thanksgiving or something like that. I'm like, who the fuck? If no one makes this, I'm gonna make this. It's gonna be not horror at all. Not at all.
Very
family Christmas film. And I'm gonna use B-roll of that fucking house, and that's it.
Just like lure them in. Oh my god, it's Amityville. This is gonna be awesome. What the fuck is this? What am I watching?
I think most people that click on Amityville, anything on Tubi, know it's not going to be awesome, so I don't feel bad about that.
That's true.
Let's see.
You should join Hobbs Horror Spooktacular that he does.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Give me more information.
Well, it's a thing they do every year. It's different. I don't know what he's going to throw in. Hobbs, he's still in here. Let's see it.
He got fined for his decorations.
I don't get the bacon, corn, pumpkin, though. I'm confused by that.
There's a lot of breakfast going on in the chat right now, and I'm so confused.
Yeah. I mean, I get the pumpkin and the donuts. That's something earlier, but I don't get the whole bacon. That's something new.
I mean, my nickname has been pancakes for a very long time. So every time the pancakes pop up, I just pretend it's for me.
Obviously,
there you go.
Cornbread with bacon bits in the cornbread,
Oh,
covered with pumpkin spice seasoning.
Only at IHOP.
That's disgusting. I'm sure someone will make that.
Yeah, just mix it all together. Yep.
I guess we'll wait for that to go on. I haven't got to talk to Steve before he came on before I joined, but on the Meowie movies, the Christmas Vacation, I believe it was, you did some wrestling on that. Have you done wrestling in the past?
The direct answer is no, but with an asterisk. I do the Spider-Man gigs with Marvel Live, and Sometimes that's just a meet and greet at like a location where you're just meeting kids, taking a picture, and that's it. Other times it's a show, whether it's on stage or an arena. So when we do those shows, it's basically a wrestling event. Like we pre-choreograph what we're doing. We're doing mostly wrestling moves. I'm taking wrestling bumps, like we're doing DDTs, V triggers, that sort of thing. So in that sense, I'm experienced more than someone that's never done any of that stuff, but it's still different. I'm not a wrestler. That was the first time I got into a ring, was for me on Christmas vacation. I loved it. If I ever had free time, I would legitimately want to go to wrestling school and be an indie wrestler, because I love pro wrestling, and it was really it's really, really fun to do it as Spider-Man, with the crowd cheering and like working them, and like Marvel lets me write the scripts a lot, so I'm able to like have Green Goblin really heal it up, and I'm able to have Spider-Man like really be the face, and it works. I love playing with the crowd, and then doing it in the ring felt like a fucking bed compared to what I have to land on as Spider-Man. So that was really nice. Like getting slammed down and suplex, I was like, this is nothing by comparison.
Right, yeah.
So I will do that more often. We'll see what the future holds for that. No promises either way. It's something I'd like to do, but at the same time, I have other responsibilities. I have other entertainment jobs that takes my focus. But since it was my movie and my money, and everyone already bought into Meowie 1 and 2, I was like, I can do whatever I want, and no one can stop me. And it was supposed to be the last one. So I was like, I want this to be a climax, but I don't want it to be like a brutal fight, because this is still meant for kids. So what could be like a fight between Wally and his alien that would be silly enough that it's still kids appropriate? Oh, pro wrestling. We just do those big moves, and they look great, and it's fun. So I'm really glad I was able to do that.
Cinder Wild asks, what would your wrestling persona be if you did one?
That is a toss-up between either being the Thirst Trap, because I was voted as the top male Thirst Trap of Pittsburgh, and I have a championship belt for that, and I would just play that up. Or it would be literally like the director or Cinema Steve and play up the whole indie filmmaker aspect of it, and kind of play it Andy Kaufman, I'm from California and I'm better than you, or like The Miz, where like I'm super like into the fact that I'm a big entertainer, I'm not a wrestler, but also sell it as just like, I have to eat ramen a lot this weekend. Independent filmmaking doesn't pay much. Please come to my booth and buy my movie. Please, for the love of God, I need to buy groceries this weekend. Just like, super realistically talk about like the finances of indie filmmaking while still playing it up like, yeah, I'm a director. I lean towards Cinema Steve so that my finisher could be the director's cut, and it could be a cutter.
Nice.
Or if I do that would be the final cut. I'll save that for the big championship match.
That sounds amazing. Sounds like you've been planning it for a while.
Oh, God, yes.
Just make your own wrestling movie. The director's cut.
I had thought about doing a wrestling movie, but I couldn't come up with an idea of what would be a feature. Like, I had one wrestling movie idea where the idea is just like everything in the company is real. Like, it's not a fake story, but the promoter has to keep acting like wrestling's fake so that it doesn't get fucking arrested. Because of like this insane shit happening in the company. Like assaults and like supernatural shit and like people trying to get murdered. He just be like, oh yeah, it's wrestling. But like they're trying to murder each other.
Right.
So that's like a 5-minute skit. Like, how do I make 90 minutes out of that?
Yeah. Let's see. For Shingles, did you use any of your troupe actors? Have Cheetah Wolview wants to know.
You want to take this one, Aleen? I was talking a lot about wrestling, and I feel bad.
No, that's fine. You could go. Troupe actors, just meaning like people
we usually work with.
Generally work with. Yeah. I know Ben Deedles from BPO Films is back as one of the kids. He had the best audition for Will. So he's hilarious. His ad libs alone were like breaking everybody on off camera. We were all like dying, rolling on the floor. Let me see. Rebecca Reinhardt, who you may remember from Carousel 2 as one of the other Nazis, is back in a role as Mrs. Black, one of the people Buick interacts with in Just Say No. There's got to be somebody else I'm thinking of or missing. There's a lot of new people this time around, to be honest. We auditioned and met a lot of really great new people, new talent. So you'll see a few familiar faces, but a lot of new talent as well.
Blake O'Donnell, who played Larry in the Maui films, is back in Shingles. He plays one of the aliens. And he made me break character harder than I've ever broken character on a film before. There was multiple times that I just fell over on the floor laughing and crying because he was so fucking funny.
That's right. Do you think if Shingles does well enough, do you think it's a possibility it could become a series? Maybe like there could be longer episodes.
I mean, that's up to the authors and dragons. At the end of the day, like I can't even predict that. I can't even guess to that because like Shingles the movie has a pretty big budget because it has a lot of characters, it has a lot of locations, but it doesn't really have a name actor. So I don't know how well it would do if it got picked up by a distributor or like on streaming services. Like if it's a huge hit on streaming services, that alone still won't make Shingles money back. You know, we've talked about how shitty streaming services pay in the previous episodes.
Right.
But like, if they sell enough copies, if they get enough press, if enough people like it, and also they're using this basically as a form of advertisement for the book series. You know, that's what I think is going to make Shingles a success for them, is that they aren't just trying to make their money back with the movie. They're using the movie to sell books, to introduce people to their podcast, to introduce people to their conventions, to introduce people to their other series. And if enough people buy into that and they consider the film a success, they might want to do Shingles too. They have enough fucking books to use.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what their vision of the feature is. Would a Shingles 2 be maybe just one book made into a feature, or would they do the same basic setup as Shingles 1, where it's an anthology with, you know, people telling the stories around a campfire? Would they want to do something where it's like a digital series, where they do like a 20, 30-minute episode for a book and do it that way? I think that'd be a terrible idea, personally. It's so hard to sell that sort of thing. But, like, I don't know. It's their baby. They just handed it to me, and I held the baby like this awkwardly for months.
Right.
But if they do the sequel, I think it's possible. I don't know. I hope that they like what I did so that they bring me back, though. And I hope that they at least like my quality, my efficiency, and my passion for making this sort of stuff. So they seemed very happy when they were on set. They seemed very happy with what we've been doing. They've seemed very happy with the marketing. Hopefully they just like the final product. That's the last question mark.
Right.
I don't remember if we've said yet or not, but when's that come out?
We're no date.
No date. Okay.
I told them it'll be out. We'll have a final cut before the end of the year. I and Scott Lewis, the editor, we're aiming for October or November 2022. But when they release it, is kind of up to them. Like, I don't know what their plan is. Basically, I told them, like, I'll offer your first DVD, I'll offer your first Blu-ray, I'll give them to you, I'll set it up on Kanaki. So if you want to order from there, you can order from there. But when it comes to selling, when it comes to release, that's all them. Like, once I pass this movie, the only thing that's in my contract is that several months after they first start selling it, I can put it on Steve Buster. Otherwise, the release is all them. I don't know if they're going through distribution. I don't know if they're self-distributing. You know, like, there's 5 of them. That's the thing, too. Like, it's not just I'm talking to one guy with money. It's 5 creators that are also giving another creator their movie, and now they need to make their own decisions in this world that they aren't part of. So I'm giving them my advice. I'm giving them my thoughts. Their call.
Gotcha. Definitely something to look for. I've never heard of the books and stuff before, but it sounds amazing.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to start reading them soon, shortly, just to see what they're like. Let's see. Okay, he came in late. Was saying any news on Duke he can share, but
okay. Well, Duke came back in a Maui Dark Timeline as well. You know, the Steve Buster document exclusive series. It explores the time of events on Earth 1 between Maui 3 and 4 when it was the timeline. It also answers questions of where the Silver Spotlight film characters were during that, because it's all on the same planet. So you actually get to see more Duke in a Maui Dark Timeline, but it's an alternate Duke. That timeline raced in Maui 4. But if you want Duke right now, Maui Dark Timeline is your place to go. He's in episode 1 and episode 3. Since you got here, like I already said to Steven and Miss Boomstick, we're looking at the plot of Carousel 3, but we're worrying about making Shingles, finishing Shingles, releasing Shingles, and then maybe we can do a crowdfunder for Carousel 3 next year and buckle up. That's all I'm going to say. Buckle up. It's going to be a dawn of justice.
Yeah.
And I like how you sprinkle like little like Easter eggs throughout. I was like, I never noticed it when I first watched Carousel, but then I was watching Meowie, and here comes like the cowboy dude, and then I noticed that there was like the bottles of alcohol with the pirate guy on it, and I didn't notice it till this time. It was like first time I watched it, I didn't notice it, and the second time I was like, oh, that's from this other movie.
We like, Aleen and I, we like doing that stuff in a way that you don't need to see the other stuff to get the jokes. But they're there. Like, it all exists in the same world, but it's not necessary. It's not like the fucking MCU where you need to watch 20 movies to understand the new Doctor Strange movie or anything. It's just like, oh, Captain Z exists somewhere here. Like, oh, Axe from the Slasher Hunter is also here. But it doesn't matter. You don't have to know the Slasher Hunter. You don't have to know Axe. But if you do, you're like, that's fucking Axe. Like, yeah, they all still exist together.
Now you make one and make the little pony things come to life. Have your own little pony.
Oh, I mean, we could totally do My Tiny Uni. Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
those
we have
uni.
t-shirts. So why not an animated series?
Yeah, put in an Easter egg somewhere.
I will be
Or
official.
series.
Super Task Force takes place on Earth 2, and Shingles takes place on Earth 3. So there is no cameos, Shingles, or anything like that. Shingles is a separate universe. But it is the multiverse. Hyper time, baby. So, like, there is actually some references to the other films, but not on the same planet.
Nice.
They all coexist and don't even realize it.
Yes. I mean, hey, the Flash, they just combined Shingles and Super Task Force. I don't know.
You was echoing kind of bad there. I didn't quite hear. Sometimes you kind of echo real bad and it kind of cut out. So
I wish you would have said. Hold on.
I just said maybe the Flash will combine the worlds of Super Task Force and Shingles. I don't know. Warner Brothers pays me. Let's do this.
Have Cheetable Boo says Meowie is the best movie title ever.
Goddamn right it is.
So how'd you come up with Meowie? Just meow.
Well, so Bill Murphy and we had a podcast called Movie Films with Bill and Steve. It's still on SoundCloud and stuff. We just haven't done it in a couple of years. We did it for like 6 years. We're like, okay, we're done. And Aleen suggested us to watch some talking animal movies, so we started. And there was there was a good one. Like The Three Doggeteers was hilarious. That was Aleen's suggestion. It was self-aware. It was fun. But then Bill and I started watching the Dog Who Saved series, because like the Dog Who Saved Christmas, the Dog Who Saved Halloween, and I kept on getting angrier and angrier because these are 6-figure fucking movies, and they were so milquetoast boring garbage, and I hated them. I hated them so much. I was getting so mad because they had so much money and so many resources, and they couldn't fucking do anything with them. So I said, fuck it, I got $500 and a cat. We're going to make our own talking animal holiday movie. And then I think my friend Justin Geneva, he said, you should call it A Meow Christmas. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. No one has not made a movie called A Meow Christmas. Like, that's on every t-shirt. That's in every store. That's the most common. No one made a movie called A Meow Christmas yet. So here we fucking go, baby. Got to do it. And then as soon as The Meow Christmas was like, well, Lux, I was like, okay, well, now the series is A Meowie Blank. Like, that's the series now. And so we just kept going with it. We did the Halloween because I always wanted to make a PG horror film, and that was my excuse. That was my opening to do it. And then we did the 3 and 4, and like I said, we did St. Patrick's Day, which was an Aleen Isley idea. She had the Freaky Friday idea of switching the bodies. And then Christmas Vacation again. Like, that was Bill and I parodying big finale blockbusters. Like, it was a parody of Avengers Endgame and Star Wars Episode 9. But we called it A Meowie Christmas Vacation for 2 reasons. One, again, The Dog Who Saved Christmas Vacation was such like the most hollow form of double dipping that I was just like, fuck you. And also, hey, if anyone's on Tubi and they search for Christmas Vacation, you ain't going to find National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but you know what the fuck comes up? A Meowie Christmas Vacation, baby.
Yeah, that was just so cute. That was a great idea with them too. Then having all their little animal friends being able to understand and talk to each other.
Yes.
Now, does the dog in the Carousel movies, do you own that one as well, or?
Do you mean Joe's, the pizza guy's dog?
Yes.
Oh,
I couldn't
fuck.
remember the dog's name. But
Otis.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Otis was actually my family dog, and he passed away shortly after we filmed that little clip of his. And it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny because Joe's dog died.
Yeah.
It's ironic. It's not funny. It's just ironic.
Oh no, it's a happy ending. No, I'm just kidding. It's a downer ending, and it's really sad. And yeah,
At
that
least
was
you always got him in the movie now for memory's sake.
Yeah, that's the bittersweetness of using, our animals in these movies. Because, like, Gizmo Cat is still alive and well. She is kicking. I think she's going to be around for at least a little while longer. She's like 14 now, so she's getting up there. But, like, all of our rats that were in those movies are gone. So every single time we have to rewatch those movies for screening or, like, for online stuff, it's both happy and hard. It's happy that they still exist in some way. They're making thousands of people around the world happy, and that's really nice. They're immortal, but at the same time, it hurts to see Kita the rat, see her run around, and I can never hold her again and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm sure that if Gizmo Cat ever dies, emphasis on if, I still am banking on her being immortal. It will be impossible for me to rewatch the Melee movies because I will just be a mess. I guarantee it. But again, she'll be immortalized and she'll continue making children and like people happy around the world. And that there's a comfort from that.
Yeah. I feel like the immortal cats. Like one of our cats still lives with my parents because she don't like car rides, and we moved several hours away, so I left her with my parents. And she's like 13, 14, but still runs and plays. She does not act like that whatsoever. So I think she's like right in that realm of being immortal forever. Yeah. The white cat, Steve, that you've seen, the one that freaked out when I picked her up.
Yeah. But there can only be one.
What?
Have like a Highlander cat movie. There can only be one. Meowlander.
Banditos really wants to get rich so he can finance Meow Hard. He really wants me to make Meow Hard.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Hey, and it's a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas.
Exactly.
So we should start a fundraiser for that for next year. Get the Indiegogo going for Meow Hard, everybody.
We can start making the thumb movies, except with cats. Just remake classic films with cats, all cats, all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't tempt me. Don't tell me it was Steve Odekort's career, because I'll take it. I will make Kung Meow, and I'll just take some 70s martial arts movie and green screen my cat over top and redub the whole fucking thing. Oh, God, am I going to do this for real now? Oh, no. What have you done?
Even if it's just a short or something, that'd be hilarious to see. Only on Steve Buster. Check it out.
No, that would be way too much work. I'd be fucking charging.
Yeah,
for that.
Yeah, that I know. I do a little bit of green, nothing compared to what you guys do, but I've done green screen with some of my videos, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I've been taught all myself everything, and that stuff's hard.
We could call it Paw Fu.
I'll meet you. Kung Paw. I'll do Kung Paw.
Okay, Kung Paw. There we go. Oh, so it said Drew Zimba. I guess. Sorry if I said that name wrong, but the cat movie is subpar from the blockbuster. Meowsablanca. There we go.
It's true.
But yeah, I love the Kung Fu Cat idea. That's amazing.
Let's do John Whiskers, like John Wick.
Yeah, there we go.
John Whiskers.
We can make it a sequel. Someone kills Wally. So Whiskers goes nuts and murders everyone.
You killed my rat.
No, Wally's me.
Yeah, Wally's him.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I said that. Well, instead of that, yeah, there we go.
I will
it's a human. There we go. It's
have to get Keanu Reeves to play me though, to make the joke work. So
yeah,
sorry, we can't make the movie until we can afford Keanu Reeves. So
yeah.
Shucks. I have a very artistic vision. That's all. I'm not giving any fucking make shit.
No, or do like a Jurassic Park meowie. I can't think of a good pun off top.
All right. Hear me out. Bat Mew versus Super Mew.
Oh yes, that's awesome.
There was actually I saw I don't know if it was on TikTok or going through YouTube. There was Jurassic Park, but like it was a cat in all the dinosaur scenes.
Yeah, it's that guy that does all those like green screen stuff with his cat. Like he's put his cat in a bunch of movies. My other favorite was when he put the cat in Godzilla versus Kong.
I literally just got TikTok like earlier this week, so I don't know anything about that.
There's a bunch of random stuff on there. Yeah.
I'm new to it. I don't know it.
Gotta find that one stupid thing to go viral. Some of the stuff it's like, really? Because it was telling me at one point, this one guy, all he does is like destroy like Apple products and stuff. And I'm like, why? It's like, why would you just smash stuff? Like,
Hopefully it's stuff that already don't work and they just claim it does for the video.
Yeah. Oh man. Was gonna say earlier the everyone must die. What inspired you to do that?
I wanted to make a feature slasher film, and I thought of the name Everyone Must Die, and no one had made a movie called Everyone Must Die yet. So I made that. Like half of my movies exist because I think of a good title, and I realize the title yet. And unlike other people, I will make that movie as fast as possible just to make sure that I own that title. I will not sit on it.
That's what I was going to say. Another one that no one has the title to. That's how you do it.
I mean, I had in like 2007, I made a terrible feature film called Basic Slaughter. It was my first feature film ever. It's really bad. I don't like it. It's on Steve Buster because my fans hate me and demanded it. So it is upscaled in HD on Steve Buster. Don't watch it, but it's there. There's also a bonus feature where I just get shit-faced and insult the movie the whole time. So enjoy that. But the idea behind Basic Slaughter was like, I want to do a slasher movie with like a killer where like there isn't a logo, where like there isn't an icon or something like important about the killer. It's just people in the situation. It's just like, holy shit, we're getting murdered. What does he want? Who fucking cares? He's murdering us. I don't care what his backstory is. And Basic Slaughter was a very, very, very poor delivery of that idea. So years later, in 2012, when I made Everyone Must Die, I was like, I want to revisit that. So technically, Everyone Must Die is actually a sequel to Basic Slaughter. You don't need to watch it at all with that information, but it is technically a sequel to Basic Slaughter. And it's just continuing that idea of it's about these killers that are going all over the place, killing as many people as possible. And it's a story about this group stuck in that situation. And like, they don't know anything about the killer. They don't know why the killer's doing this, but that also doesn't matter. It's about these people trying to make it through the situation. It's okay. I think Everyone Must Die is okay. I think that the start of the movie is one of the best starts to an independent horror movie because it's super exciting and it's awesome. But there's a lot of downtime because that was still when I was more inspired by, like, say, the writing of Kevin Smith, where it's a bunch of characters just talking because we didn't have much money. So it's a bunch of characters talking. But now when I watch a movie, I'm like, hey, can everyone shut the fuck up? Can everyone stop fucking talking? I don't care if the movie is 15 minutes shorter. You need to fucking talk less. So that's how I watch it now. I still think it's fine. I still think it's fun. Some people still seem to like it. I still once in a while get a review on Letterboxd from someone that finds it on Tubi or something, and they're like, "Oh, this is just mindless people dying." Like 17 people died. That's all I wanted. I'm like, cool, okay, but like as the creator, it's a little rougher compared to like my later features. But it's my first official feature, not Basic Slaughter, which was my first attempt. But like as a filmmaker, Everyone Must Die was my first official feature, and I learned my lessons from that. I learned how to do dialogue better. I learned how to do what's the fucking word when you explain the story?
Exposition.
Thanks. I learned how to do exposition a lot better. Like it was already better in Super Task Force, which I just did the year later, and then it was even better in Captain Z, and again, it's even better in both the Carousel movies substantially. It's just rough and Everyone Must Die. But, we just had the 10-year anniversary for Everyone Must Die. Came out in 2012. It is 2022. So I did release the Everyone Must Die Definitive Edition Plus on Blu-ray, which has Slasher Hunter Everyone Must Die, The Killer, and The Survivors all in one disc because that's all one story. That was my first saga I ever told. So if you want to see the entire Killer's storyline, grab that on Blu-ray. You'll get all the fucking movies and all the bonus features and brand new commentary where it's been a decade, so I'm not holding anything back anymore.
And fancy new cover art you forgot to mention, I think.
Yeah, of course. Gotta double dip the fans. I mean, give the fans something new.
Of course. And we're such suckers, we'll do it anyway. You gotta have it. We love doing that. So, and that, of course, silverspotlight.com.
Yeah, silverspotlightfilms.com.
Silver Spotlight Films, yes.
Or, of course, you can also pick up the Carousel deck building game and the brand new Meowie expansion, where all the cards are from the cat movies.
Okay. So that's a separate one from the first one? It's just an expansion? Because I got the first one when it first
It's just an expansion. It's 36 new cards for your main deck and 6 new character cards to play as.
Okay.
And we introduced some new mechanics, and it's a good expansion, honestly. Like, it introduces a few new mechanics, and it definitely increases the plays that you can get out of the base game. But we also have Shingles, the movie, the game, in the works, which would be a standalone expansion, which will be compatible with Carousel and the Meow expansion, but you can also just buy that game by itself and play it by itself. But the backs of the cards are still Duke. And, like, the backs of the Survivor cards are the same as, like, the Carousel game. So that way everything's still compatible, but it'll be very self-contained as well. Because I know a lot of the Shingles fans maybe not necessarily be Carousel fans or vice versa. So,
good way to introduce them to Duke, though, a little bit. Like, what's this?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
what? Using one product to sell another product? That's genius.
wow, who would have thought? And besides, I know you're going to say, oh, Captain Z, no one had that title. I know that's how you came up with that.
No, that was me being hired by a producer to make his movie idea.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Because his name was Sultan Zilai. ZZ, he's like second generation Hungarian or something like that. I don't know if that's correct. That may be a fucking lie, but he's second generation. His father's name is like John, and his mother's name is like Mary, like the most American fucking names, but he got his culture's names. But his dad owns a jewelry store called Z's Jewelry. And for the local commercials, he played Captain Z the pirate that brought his gold to this jewelry store because they paid the highest prices in gold in the area. And then he came to me and said, I want to make a feature film about this commercial character I play. I'm like, how the fuck do I do that? Because he paid me to write it and direct it. So I just asked him, like, okay, Zoltan, like, is he actually a fucking pirate from the 1700s, or is he just an actor that dresses like a pirate? And of fucking course, Zoltan said, he's an actual pirate from the 1700s. I was like, fuck, okay. And I did my best. I wrote it in a way so that he kind of did time traveling. I took a lot of inspiration from Army of Darkness in that sense. And I wrote a basic script, and I gave it to him, and he rewrote, like, 15% of it to add a few characters or change some jokes, and we came to an agreement, and then I made his movie. So that's his movie. It's very much one of mine still, but like he paid for that, he produced it, he came up with the idea, he owns it. Captain Z is Zoltan Zilai's baby. And every single year he says, I'm going to do a Captain Z 2, and it never happens. And I don't think it will, because Captain Z 1, I don't think made him any profit. Again, unfortunately, I think it's a movie that deserves more success than it currently has. It may not be as good as Carousel 1 or 2. Right. It may not be as fun as, like, say, a Meowie Halloween is for me. And it's not as big as Shingles is going to be. But I'm still really proud of Captain Z. I think it's a really fun adventure movie inspired by horror.
Yeah. I know my husband hates horror, and we watched Captain Z and the Super Task Force, and he enjoyed both of them. He liked the Super Task Force more. Okay. But yeah, he's like super critical. He doesn't like a lot of the stuff that I watch. I like Super or better for me. I love it. But he'll watch it, and he actually sat down and enjoyed both movies. So that's impressive to get him to enjoy it.
A, that's great. And two, that's kind of why I do so many different genres. Because if it's so easy to be just a horror filmmaker or whatever, but like I want to make more than just that, even if it's still inspired by horror, like Captain Z was. But if I do different sorts of stuff, then I can access potentially different audiences and different people. That's why at conventions I'll do like buy two get one free, you may only like one of my movies, but you got a higher chance of getting one of my movies that you'll like if you're walking away with 3 things, and then you won't write me off as like some shitty filmmaker that you don't care about. I've absolutely had people that was just like, they walked away with several of my movies. They're like, Captain Z was amazing. Captain Z's like so great. This is like the greatest independent film of all time. And then they watch The Survivors and like, what the fuck happened? This movie sucks. And that's fine. But if they had only walked away with The Survivors, they would have never looked my way again, ever. But since they also had Captain Z, I keep that door creaked open. And D, it's just fun. You know, it's just fun to do different stuff instead of only doing the same thing over and over and over again. I could have made 6 more cat movies and probably made money, but I didn't want to do that either. You know, I made 4. I'm done. I made 4 in a mini series for Steve Buster. I'll do as many Cares Hells as I can that are profitable, but that's because I can put Duke into any fucking genre and situation. They are not going to be all horror. The third one is not going to be horror movies. Sorry, fuckers.
Send him to space.
Duke in space.
We have talked about that multiple times.
Everything.
Meow Wars. There we go.
Meow Wars.
Says Star Wars have Meow Wars.
I think I've seen something, but not with that title. But I think I've.
Yeah,
seen
that's probably copyrighted or something. That's probably too close.
What about like Stray Wars?
Ooh, there we
Girl
go.
Stray Cats.
That would probably work better. Stray cat gangs fighting each other. Give them little jackets.
Oh, we're just like coming up with movie ideas on our show. One of these days, I'll just have our ideas. We're always coming up with random stuff.
That would be funny though. It'd be like a West Side Story thing. It's like have a bunch of cats with like leather jackets and have another set with like I don't know, like jock jackets or something.
Okay.
You know, you could change up the outfits. I was just trying to think of something that made sense. But
It could be so much different things that could be done.
Right.
Let's see what else. Besides Shingles, anything else going on, or any other plans, or just that for now?
Shingles is a huge project. Go fuck yourself.
That's it. Oh, it's not a big deal. It's just.
We
No, I
just
get
had
that, but-
production like a few weeks ago. We're still editing this thing.
Oh, okay, it's been a few weeks. Yeah, okay. And you're not done yet? Come on.
Motherfucker. That's my biggest fucking pet peeve. No offense, Steven, but that is my biggest pet peeve. Whenever like I just released something new and someone's like, "So what's next?" I'm like, "Still selling this, dipshit."
I'm sorry. I forgot. That's Mark Polonia, who comes out with 8 movies a year. Not you.
I mean, I'm coming out with 1 movie a year, and I still am well ahead of the curve compared to most people I know. So yeah, like we gotta finish editing Shingles. We gotta release Shingles, then we gotta like do the marketing thing for Shingles, and then after that, maybe Carousel 3, and that's still a maybe. I don't fucking know. Bill Murphy has been talking about making a specific horror film idea. I don't want to say a title because we don't have one yet. I don't want to say the idea because he hasn't completely agreed to like my pitches on the ideas yet. But that is also potentially in the works. Again, who knows if they want to do a Shingles 2? I know fucking Bevan, one of the other authors, has been reaching out to me about doing something in the fantasy genre, even if it's just a short. You know, that's something we need to talk about. And then who knows? I don't fucking know. That's the thing. I wasn't planning on making fucking a Shingles movie in 2020.
Never even heard of it. But yeah,
Heard of it, but it fucking happened. So for all I know, I'll be like, no, I got nothing planned. And then someone's going to see Shingles, and they're going to come to me and be like, here's the
take this.
$100,000. You're going to make this movie. And I'll be like, yes, sir. And
Go where the scripts are. Sure, I'll do it.
I'll fucking pitch it like it's this big, great thing, and I won't give a shit. I do it. I do the shit for money. I'm a whore.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Hey, why not?
But yeah, so the final episode of A Maui Dark Timeline will go up July 1st. I'll say that. Again, that's the SteveBuster.com exclusive miniseries we did. I wanted to do a fun little thing because I know people like the Meowies, but I didn't want to do a full-blown another Meowie feature. So I did 2 years after I finished it. This is a little something for the fans, but it's also having fun with a lot of my other older characters. Like Larry from the Slasher Hunter actually comes back in this series. We haven't seen Larry since 2011. we reference other characters. The Wolfster comes back for an episode. We have some fun with it. It's nothing substantial. It's nothing amazing. It's not on the same caliber as the Meowies or any of, obviously, my feature films. But it's some new content that I released this year because I knew I was going to be so busy with Shingles for months and months and months and months that I came up with something that I could release like a new episode every month for people to enjoy. So the last episode of that goes up this month. And again, there's a ton of other stuff on the service. I'm going to be recording some like kind of creator vlogs in the next couple of months, just like if I like where it's completely off the cuff, no script, just like I write down a topic and I talk about it. Like I just recorded one today that I'm going to like kind of cut together. That's just what does Carousel 2 mean to me? And I just talked for like 20 minutes about that. And like the next one will be something different. The one after that will be something different. That's not a solid plan. I only know of a few that I'm going to do. I don't know if it'll go further. I don't know if it'll go more seriously. But that's it for now. I'm making Shingles.
If you go through with the vlog thing, where would you be posting that at?
That'll be a Steve Buster timed exclusive. Okay. That'll be something that will become public for everyone else because it is just me discussing about like filmmaking topics and stuff. And I think that might be something interesting for other wannabe filmmakers to watch, other people that are curious about the industry want to watch. But I want to give to like my subscribers something as like a thank you for subscribing and supporting me. So they'll get it like a few weeks early, and then I'll post it publicly to YouTube on my channel.
Gotcha.
So buy Carousel 2 if you haven't yet. Subscribe to Steve Buster if you haven't yet. And yeah, my stuff is on Tubi as well if you only want me to earn a nickel.
Really? It's only a nickel?
Something like that. It's like a nickel an hour, which is still more than Amazon page, which is a penny an hour.
Oh.
Wow, you're a cheap whore, apparently.
No, I would not make a custom movie for a penny an hour. I'm talking about a producer with thousands of dollars paying
No,
me.
I know. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Like that's horrible. but
that's why Steve Buster exists. If 20 people spend $3 a month to subscribe to it, that's still substantially more money than like if I would need thousands of people to watch the movie on Amazon to get. I would need 300 people to watch a movie on Amazon Prime streaming to equal one person subscribing to Steve Buster for 1 month. So that's why Steve Buster exists. So I can still get the products to people digitally as an option and permanently if they want to, but I can actually make more than fucking pennies.
Yeah. That's a shame that's all they do that. But anyway.
What about you, Aleen? What are you going to be working on? What are you coming out with?
Actually, I am rehearsing for a stage musical. I'm doing Anything Goes in July. I think Dead and Buried Treasures is going to be bringing my character back for an episode this summer, and I'm always making shit for YouTube. So if anybody wants to check me out on YouTube, it's YouTube/Aleen Isley, and I basically post like collections that we have, mail stuff like mail order Pokemon Center hauls, Lego builds, like anything. Oh, and also a series where I like diss Disney movies and the things I hate about them, plus the things I love about them. It's a very small channel, but we're trying to grow. So yeah, thanks for letting me say so.
I'm putting these YouTubes in the chat now too. I was not aware of them, so I'm posting those links in the chat too.
Thank you.
There you go.
See if there was anything else. People just talking to each other, it looks like. And the chats are up, all right. So yeah, we got those posted up for you for people to check out. So besides working on Shingles and not any other projects, not going to say that, what have you been up to in your spare time? What do you do to enjoy yourself while you're not working?
Consume. Just I like watching. I watch movies. I'm mostly cinephile. I game every once in a while. Like if something comes out that I super care about, I'll play it a lot. When Xenoblade 3 comes out, I'll be playing Xenoblade 3 for 200 fucking hours easily. When Xenoblade 3 isn't out, I'm just kind of I've played the Evil Dead game a little bit. That's pretty much it.
I want that game so bad.
It's fun. I don't care that much about multiplayer games. I'm not competitive. I don't care about winning, and that's all you can do in the game is win. So the way that it's done is cool. It's probably my favorite of the asymmetrical multiplayer games that exist. But at the end of the day, I wish it was a single player story campaign, just because I don't care about winning. I did get a arcade one-up of the Mortal Kombat games that Aleen and I built in my basement because it was like half price at a local Walmart. I just got an HDMI cord from my Sega Genesis and 32X. I popped on the Star Wars arcade with that, and those are graphics that you can only get with the power of the Sega 32X. Let me tell you, the 32 bits of 3 dimensions, phenomenal. I work out, I hang out, I lay down, I take baths with bath bombs. I don't know what this is weird. This is getting weirdly personal, Steven. Why?
You have to go into that much detail. I like this. What sense do you like?
I started waxing my legs last month. I've been going with that. I want to use up the
Kelly Clarkson.
Didn't hurt that bad, except above the knee. I didn't continue waxing above the knee, but I'm doing below the knee for sure. At least until I'm done with all the wax strips, then I'll see what I decide.
This interview's gotten a little in depth here, but okay. How about you, Isley? I know you said you've been doing the plays mostly.
Mm-hmm.
What else have you been up to?
Working. I work in. No, I'm not going to combine those two worlds. But I also tap dance. That's the shows and photo shoots here and there. I just attended my first Lolita tea party today, so I'm slowly baby stepping into the world of Lolita fashion. I don't know, a little bit of column A, column B.
Sounds good.
Not waxing Steve.
I mean, I wasn't going to make it that personal. I can help wax Steve, but but no, I nothing that in depth in particular.
That we need to know anyway, but yes.
He brought the waxing into it.
I mean, you want to know about all these details of my personal life.
I didn't ask for details. I just said, what do you like to do? Like, I like to watch movies. I should. Never mind.
I pet my cat. I grab her by the face and tell her, "You are not allowed to die. I love you." And then I smooch her.
Aw.
Yeah. Oh.
We saved a dog a few days ago. She got away from her family. We found the family after the dog lived in our yard for a few hours. Very disappointed we found the family because I would have just kept that fucking dog. She was so cute and so sweet.
The best part was the only neighbor out on the street. We asked about this dog, and the neighbor was like, "Oh yeah, like go ask so and so. She's the dog walker in the neighborhood. She'll know who it is." We described the dog and everything. The dog walker comes over. They see the dog, and they're like, "Hey, Woody!" And they're like, "Pick up the dog, carry it to the house. It's the person we asked about the missing dog. It's their dog. They didn't even know about it."
Oh my god.
Literally the first person I talked to about this dog. Could have solved the situation much sooner.
Obviously, they didn't care about the dog.
I would say it's a little concerning, but immediately she was just like, "That's my daughter's dog." So she may just like be hands off and like not have to do with the dog much. Like, why would I know that the dog got out? I mean, my cat lives here. She'll go missing for hours, and I don't know where the fuck she is. I don't assume she's outside, so maybe it's a similar situation, like
right.
Maybe. But I know if my dog went missing, somebody, let's say my neighbor came up, but mine's kind of a, how I want to put it, unusual colors, I guess, because she's mainly white, but she's got a black mask. Okay. So somebody's like, "Hey, if you got a dog," I'm sorry, my husband's dying. You probably hear that. But if somebody came up, it's like, "Yeah, are you missing a little white and black dog with a black mask?" I know exactly. It's like, "Oh, that's my dog."
Because we call it for, "Oh, there you are."
Unless it's just like a normal, like typical colored dog, like, "Hey, I found a black lab" kind of thing.
This was a pure pit bull pup.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
It had a sock, like you could tell colors. Apparently, the dog walker said this particular dog is an escape artist, so it hasn't been the first time she got out. But it's funny that they had no idea. So yeah.
So,
I hear that my neighbors across the street, they have a pit bull that he's an escape artist too, and he's the super friendliest dog ever.
So his nickname is Who Doggy instead of Houdini. Who Doggy.
But yeah, I think that breed is them and Huskies, I think, are probably the biggest escape artists there are.
I miss having
Huskies are pretty sweet. We have the benefit of having wonderful friends who have a husky, so we can like pet the husky, hear the songs of the husky, and then let the husky go home.
Mine's like 14% husky, so I have a taste it, but she's not like full blown. So yeah, I don't know if we can handle full blown one as much as she is. But yeah, she loves snow, jumps, rolls, and she has a lot of traits. So.
I can handle full blown husky, but our cat would not.
Yeah.
So you have the cat and any other animals right now, or just your cat?
Right now, no.
Just the cat.
Yeah. Aleen wants to get more rats, and I understand because rats are the best, but I can't go through that hurt that fast again. I need some more time.
It's understandable.
Yeah, I used to have gerbils years back when I was in elementary and middle school, and started out with the original two. I named them Eek and Squeak, and then they started having babies, and their babies had babies generations, of course, and all. But I remember Squeak was like the coolest one, would like just rest on my shoulder and stuff, and I could take a show at school. And when he got older, he actually held off. My mom said that like he wasn't doing well, and I literally like when I made it home from school, I picked him up, and you could tell like he was like he was fading, unfortunately, and he actually waited because literally right after I told him I loved him and everything, that was it. I was like, wow, he held on. So I know how that is. It's
Akita the rat, who played Chuck the rat in the Maui films, she was sick during the last part of filming of Maui Halloween. Losing her, that was my heart rat. I think she was the sweetest, and I loved her. But she did not pass until we watched the final cut of Maui Halloween, and we were sure it was done, and then she was gone. Because she was a fucking professional. That's what
I was gonna say, that's a professional right there.
Absolutely. No matter how sick you are, you fucking do the movie, you perform at top, you do everything you need for that film to keep that lead role. You do not give up on that role. And then when the movie's done, you can be finished.
Yeah.
No, if you can't be as professional as that rat, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't have anything smaller than, I'd say, like a year-old kitten, because my dog will murder it. So
Yeah, no.
Cinder Wild would like to know, did you try any of the alternate Baja Blast flavors? That's it.
No, why the fuck would I? Fuck that shit. Baja Blast is ambrosia. It is the drink of the gods. Why do I want to drink a shitty pineapple version of Baja Blast?
I was going to say there's an alternate version?
There's like two versions, yeah.
Oh, I don't want to tell you.
There's Gold, which is like the pineapple one, and then there's Deep Dive, which sounds the most interesting, but I have not. We tried a lot of the new Mountain Dew. Like Spark is really good.
What's that mountain? I don't know if it's Mountain.
What's
that one? There's like a hot drink or something.
Yeah.
Really weird with that.
Oh, that's Flamin' Hot. That's based on the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. No, thank you.
We saw those at the store. And I asked my son, I was like, do you want to try it? Because usually we'll get like one bottle and we'll split it to try it. And he's like, I don't know about that.
Dew SA was amazing. It tasted like America. I would try the Deep Dive if we can find a diet version. But that's the thing, too. A lot of times Mountain Dew comes out with a new flavor. I don't drink calories. That's like the only thing. Like I eat pretty cleanly, but I still eat cookies. I still eat candy. Like I cook most of my own meals. I'll still eat fast food. I'm not an insane person, but I don't need to drink 300 calories. You know what I mean? So if something's diet, I'll try it. I'll try a no-calorie drink of any flavor. Most of the time, the new Mountain Dew flavors are just full calories, and they're even more calories because of the flavor.
The thing about Deep Dive that makes it so special is it's a special release where they're having a contest. They're only making I think it was 19 or 20,000 cases of Deep Dive, and you have to look under your cap for codes to win one of those cases, or you don't get any.
Did you guys see the gingerbread one?
Yeah.
It was good. It tasted just like gingerbread.
No, really? Yeah, we didn't try it, but I saw. I was like, ew, that sounds disgusting.
It sounds better than the Flamin' Hot.
I love gingerbread and I love Christmas. If it's a Christmas flavor, I'm drinking it. It's that simple. Christmas, I'm the biggest risk at Christmas time because of all the Christmas treats.
I also really like most of the flavors of voodoo that they came out with. Every Halloween, they do a different voodoo with a new secret flavor.
Mhm.
I think last year's was the pixie stick one. That was probably the best one.
I didn't try that one. I'll have to try that. They had
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there was a Pepsi. I forget what was it. If it was like Pepsi Clear or Pepsi Space. It was really weird. It recently.
Pepsi
it might have been
Clear's from
Space.
like the 80s, but
Well, no, it wasn't Clear. It must have been Space or something. Like it had a weird
Coke Starlight.
Starlight. There we go. I was like Starlight Space. I'm like Space isn't right. No, that Starlight was weird. It sort of tasted like those sugar cookies a little bit. I can't think of which ones. It was weird. I don't know. It wasn't. It left a weird aftertaste though. I don't know. Like
I liked it.
not those sugar cookies. There's like they're not gingerbread, but they're those cookies that are like the cheaper kind of that you buy.
I think you're talking about just like I think they're just regular Christmas. I think they're just called Christmas cookies or something. I think I know. They have the glitter and they're like shaped as like hearts and stars and bells.
It might taste like that, a little different. I don't know how to explain. It's weird. I can't explain it. It was just weird. It kind of tasted like that a little bit.
I think it suggests that space tastes like marshmallows. I think
that would be good. Yeah. Or cheese made out of cheese. I don't know.
Cheese as a drink, though.
Hey, there's weird at Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Would you have thought of that as a drink?
No, that's true. But I don't like the Flamin' Hot chips, so I would have never thought.
I remember when Doritos had it was like Second Degree or something. It was like really really hot Doritos, and I put like some crushed pepper in it and hot sauce. And I shook it up, and this was like when I was working at Flying J one night, and my coworker was like, "Are you nuts?" I'm like, "That's fine." I took it, I'm like, "Whoa!" Like I can feel the heat coming off my mouth after adding hot sauce and shaking up the peppers. That was a mistake. But yeah, it burned. Never did that again. Let's see. Cinderwild says Ginger Snap was surprisingly good.
They also said the Flaming Hot was barely spicy at all. So
You might as well just drink hot sauce. I mean, like, oh, here, have some hot sauce in a can.
I think the hot sauce would be spicier.
Yeah, true.
I think the gingerbread version was tasty because it did taste like a gingerbread cookie, but the downside was it was such a strong gingerbread flavor. I couldn't drink more than like a few sips, and then I had to put the bottle away for the next day. Like it wasn't. I couldn't do a whole bottle of that flavor because it's so intense.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that.
Interesting. It's like, yeah, just have to do a show sometime. Here's all the weird flavors we tried tonight. Which ones have you done?
We can all get like a 20 ounce of each flavor and just like taste test them.
The taste test challenge. There we go.
We've done rankings of Japanese Kit Kat flavors, and we've done like a top 15 list of those. So I would be totally for like a top flavors of Mountain Dew tier list night, you know. Baja has to be the top, though.
Yeah. I might have to do that. I'll keep in touch with you for that. It'd be fun. We'll just say, what's your... no, we'll do like a blind test or something. We'll just drink each one.
I have done this before with cans of Pringles. It's very easy to do. You just black them out with construction paper, and then you have the blind test the Pringle cans. That one's another fun.
Okay. Good ideas. But, oh, good times. Did you have any other questions, Boom? Or I think that was...
I don't think so, no.
So, I mean, we're coming up almost 2 hours here. I mean, it's been fun, but anything else, yeah? Or that might wrap it up on the Mountain Dew? Unless
the Uvalde Police Department refuses to release the body cam footage, which means they definitely shot some kids. So I think that's important to always remember.
Yes. And
I'm just saying, when police hire a law firm so they don't have to show off their body cam footage, they shot those kids.
Probably. I mean,
I apparently missed something in the news. I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Texas school shooting, when the police officers sat outside for like 2 hours instead of helping the
that
kids.
one. Okay.
There was a very legitimate chance that they opened fire on innocent children. But they were just like, Nope, that didn't happen. Literally in the press release to the press, the first thing they said was just like, all the kids were definitely shot by the shooter. I'm sorry, why'd you say it that way? And now they're just refusing to release their body cam footage. So these cops killed some kids.
Yikes.
Gotcha. I can't believe they did a stand down order.
Yep.
But no, I hear typing.
I know, you're typing too. That's what I'm like.
The sound of
Sorry.
the curious
I
typing.
type loud.
Oh, you're fine. I was expecting something to come up in the chat. That's what.
Oh, no, that was just me.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome.
Working on that next script. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, I just talked to a friend about hanging out tomorrow. Nothing important. I just wanted to answer that I was in a show right now, so I couldn't.
I can't talk right now. No, that's fine. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and let you go then.
Oh, no, I'll type quieter.
Little type roll. But thanks for
I have a
coming on
mechanical typewriter hooked up to my computer. So
again. One of those old typewriters you should get. Did you push over?
I used to have one. I used to write my school papers on that because I thought it was cool, and I just hated writing stuff by hand. So before I had a computer, I used a typewriter.
I used one of those too. That was fun. I'd always be like, oh, good
If it
practice.
wasn't like so expensive and near impossible to like replace the ribbon, I'd still use it for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine those would be hard to replace the ribbon on those.
Yeah,
I
don't
can't
even-
believe they could still like buy VCRs and stuff at places. They're going to be pretty much about the same.
Yeah, there's still some movies on VHS they've never released on DVD yet. So
That is true.
unfortunately, but so it's good to have both. But
Yeah. Alrighty.
so,
Well-
but yeah, thanks again. It's been fun. So we'll do it again next year. How's that sound? See what's up.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then you can finally ask us what's next.
Yeah.
I have an answer.
Fuck you. That's the answer. Jingles.
One of the Shingles fans had the audacity to ask if the movie would be done by a convention in August, and I literally replied, "Hey, go fuck yourself.
Done by August. Wow.
You just shot this in May. You'll have the whole thing done in less than 3 months, right?" Yeah, okay. Just suck my
It's
ass.
just easy. All you gotta do is hold the camera.
You just gotta edit it.
I'm being sarcastic. I know it takes.
Oh,
a
I
lot
know
more.
you're being sarcastic.
I can't believe someone actually asked that. Have it ready for the convention? Wow. Sure.
I'm going to decide when I get to the con how drunk I'll be to see how honest I'll be during their Q&A. So that might be super fun.
So when is this? Well, I'm assuming since you said August, there's a Shingles convention in
It's
August.
the Authors and Dragons Convention, August 19th, 20th, and 21st in Charlotte, North Carolina. There'll be a bunch of book authors there, a bunch of game creators there, and also, obviously, there are a bunch of Shingles people will be at the convention. You know, I'll be selling my movies, but also we'll be signing stuff for Shingles. We'll be signing, products. We'll be signing posters, and we have a panel for Shingles where we will be premiering the opening scene. We will have a sneak peek for the convention.
Right.
It is definitely possible to have the first 8 minutes of the movie done.
Right.
Not the whole fucking thing, dipshit.
We'll have the trailer for you. We'll have the trailer done, and you'll like it.
Awesome.
How
Do
about
you have any other conventions that you're coming up that you're going to?
Not right now. Like, I was going to try to go to some stuff, but again, like, we were immediately hired for Shingles. We're making Shingles. So now that Shingles is kind of behind me, then I can look back into, like, being a guest at conventions coming up to promote Carousel 2 fucking finally, and Shingles as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm nowhere near where did you say, North Carolina? So I won't be able to go there, but hopefully a lot of people show up.
I'll see. I'd like to, but who knows? But it'd be fun to see at a convention. But definitely pick up some Shingle stuff, or I'm assuming they'll have stuff online too. Like for people who can't make it, they'll sell some stuff. Do you know?
I mean, I don't know what products they're selling specifically. I don't know if they're going to be making posters, but I do know that everyone that can check out my stuff at silverspotlightfilms.com, buy the DVDs, buy Blu-rays, buy the deck building games, buy the vinyl 10-year anniversary soundtrack. And if you don't buy physical media, that's okay too. Second best way to support me is stevebuster.com. As low as $3 a month, you get digital access to my entire library, exclusive stuff, bonus features, discussions, that sort of deal. And worst case scenario, if you can't afford anything, I understand things have been hard. A lot of my stuff is on Tubi TV. Carousel 2's on there. The Meowies are on there. So that's an option too. Feel free to check out the stuff there. Aleen, what have you got? Oh, and I'm on Instagram at Dark Mullet if you just want to see me post pictures of my cat or me wear spandex, show off my ass.
Dark Mullet, that's amazing.
You can follow me on Instagram at Aleen Isley, and I'm on YouTube, which was linked a little bit earlier. I can't seem to make a direct link to it all fancy, so thank you for posting that. And for a little more naughty content, I also appear on OnlyFans, so you can check out my link in my Instagram.
Awesome.
All right then.
All right. Well, I think we'll let you guys go and do what you got to do, and whatever you got. I don't know how to.
And whatever else you gotta do, wax your legs.
What?
We're gonna go do the do. Okay, we got to do the do.
There you go.
All right. Take care.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks. Bye.
Farewell.
Do the do. 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 Oh, all right. So that's about it. Any news on your end or anything?
Not really. He finally tested negative for the virus, so we're finally out of it. Yeah. We're free. So, that's a good thing because he'd been out of work for like 2.5 weeks. So, so yeah. So he gets to go back to work.
Yeah. I know how that was. I don't think it was COVID, but being sick for 2 weeks is not fun.
Yeah.
That killed me. I couldn't do anything for 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, we got call my dad tomorrow, but it's Father's Day, so I'll check see how they're doing because they got it too already from us.
Yeah. All right. I'm not really sure yet what's going on for next week, but we'll figure it out. But I do know on the 2nd, since she couldn't make it last time, July 2nd, Chanel Ryan will be coming on. So that'll be fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for everyone who came in and everyone who listened after, and have a good night. I'm going to head on out.
Alrighty.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.